Greetings people, welcome for the second match of this series, this best out of 3, taken from day 1, the group stages of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships that are currently being held in Hanover, Germany. And well, for the second time we're gonna have a matchup, a battle between EGIdrA, Greg Fields, the American Starcraft 2 player, also a Brood War veteran, that was living in Korea for quite a long time now, I think it was around 3 years, and decided now to head back home, so we're gonna start seeing more of him on the tournament scene in North America and hopefully in Europe as well. I would like that. He's going to be facing here for the second time this blue Protoss, STARTALE Ace. As you guys know, I already mentioned this, he was on Coda in January. He is quite a solid Protoss player. We've seen what he did on Game 1 against EGIdrA. And well, I'm going to throw a couple of spoilers here, so if you guys didn't watch Game 1, well, you should. I mean, skipping straight into Game 2 doesn't make much sense in my modest opinion, but here coming the spoilers. Ace is leading 1-0, he dominated EGIdrA on that first match, did very well with his air play, he had a lot of Phoenixes, did a lot of air aggression with his Phoenix play, big pressure into EGIdrA, and was able to micro and macro at the same time. So we ended up seeing like Hydralisks getting lifted in the air and shot by all of those Phoenixes, picked one by one, force field play backed up by Zealots slicing and dicing roaches. So yeah, STARTALE Ace did really good on that Game 1. I'm not sure what he's able to do now in Shakura's Plateau with these spawning points, but I guess we're going to see it soon enough. What I need to say is, based on the fact that Ace now is leading 1-0, it's EGIdrA's turn to take the responsibility and do something about it. He needs to win this game, or else it's 2-0 for Ace and bye-bye EGIdrA. So let's see what he's able to do. For now he's just being cautious, playing safe once again, spawning pool first, gas, so we're gonna have fast Zergling speed coming out. Meanwhile the probe already trying to be annoying and make sure that EGIdrA won't be able to establish his natural expo when he feels like it, but only when the probe allows it to. And meanwhile on Ace's side, apparently he's doing the exact same build he did before. There's Forge first into Fast Expand, so Nexus going down on the natural expansion, and apparently Ace going for the exact same build he did before on Game 1. I mean, he's probably thinking, well, it worked, so I'm gonna use it again. But I'm sure that EGIdrA is aware of how things went on Game 1, so he might have a way of countering this. I mean, he got caught by surprise, but he might be able to defend it now. Oh, denied. Rejected hatchery. Oh, second time, and that probe is getting really pesky. Already cancelled that hatchery twice, and oh, third time lucky. EGIdrA was able to establish it on this third attempt, and now the probe finally getting shoved away by that couple of Zerglings that are going to start chase the probe and finish it off, hopefully, so the scouting will be finished and no proxy pylons will be established anywhere. Meanwhile, EGIdrA flying over the natural expo with his Overlord. As you guys can see, he spotted everything, and he knows he needs to keep pumping on his econ game or finish the game really early. It's one of the options that he has, because there's already the same build he saw on Game 1, and well, you guys saw the result on Game 1, so I'm pretty sure EGIdrA doesn't want the same thing to happen. Also, if Ace is going the exact right way this time, I'm assuming that he's going to finish his wall off, which is he doing now, gateway into Cybernetics core, and probably going to see a Stargate somewhere pretty soon. Very sturdy wall off, keep in mind, with these 3 buildings, and backed up by that photon cannon on the back, so quite strong, quite powerful. And meanwhile, we have EGIdrA Zerglings just roaming around and finishing off the probes that were left wandering on the map by Ace, making sure that they won't be able to establish any kind of proxy pylon on any corner close to the base, or even try to scout once more. And for now, EGIdrA just finishing off his hatchery on the natural expo. He's going to be able to start working out of 2 bases, and at the same time finishing a Roach Warren sooner than he did on Game 1, by the way, and with the Zerglings already poking at this destructible rock. So based on the spawning points, this rush distance is really short, as long as you destroy the rocks, obviously, that will take a little while. But meanwhile here on Ace's side, there he goes, the fast Stargate going down, a second photon cannon getting established to reinforce the defenses on that wall off on the ramp, the access to the natural expo. And on the econ game, whoa, look at the difference on the harvester count. Apparently EGIdrA just stopped the production of workers and is committing himself to big pressure, and he's gonna try to make a push into his opponent. So he's just making as many roaches as possible, backed up by the Zerglings he already has, and he's gonna go straight into his opponent's back door and start knocking on his door until it's destroyed and defeat him before he even has a proper army. Let me just take a look at the army comparison. Exactly, Ace for now only has a single sentry. He has been committing himself to establish this base, and now finally trying to get the Void Ray out, chrono boosting it, also getting another sentry out. So he's aware of the fact that these units are knocking on his door. His visibility allows him to see the Zerglings poking at it, and soon enough he will have Zerglings and roaches running on his base unless he gets some proper defense. For now he has a single sentry that makes a force field and buys a couple more seconds for him to muster up his army, getting a Void Ray out, and now the second one starting to be produced. A photon cannon getting established, but I don't think this will be on time. Incoming all the Zerglings straight into that nexus, and the roaches advancing. I think they're gonna go straight into that natural expo with the Void Ray, burning them one by one with that huge beam, charging the beam on the roaches, and there's nothing here that can fend off the assault by this Void Ray. So the Void Ray is picking off one by one all of the roaches that are just blocked here by the force field once again on the ramp that gives access to the natural expo. Notice this Void Ray now with a second one burning all the units, and EGIdrA seems to be a bit in trouble here because his forces are just slowly getting grinded down. Finally the roaches are able to come down the ramp and start shooting, but there's not enough forces here, and got completely finished off the roach force, and the Zerglings were able to finish off and snipe that nexus. But at what price, I'm not sure, because as you guys notice, EGIdrA decided to just stop the worker production, so he will be falling behind, but apparently he's trying to drone his ass off, so to speak, and getting himself back into this game, getting his hatchery into a lair, transitioning into the second layer of tech for the Zerg player, and make sure he's gonna have something to counter this big strong airplay that is incoming from STARTALE Ace once again. Nice force field play, denying the entrance of those Zerglings once more, and now he just needs to get some units that are able to shoot Void Rays, and apparently Phoenixes as well, because there's already Phoenixes coming out. At the moment he doesn't have what it takes, and there's already Void Rays advancing, killing one of those overlords. Second overlord getting focused now and gonna get killed, and this is gonna be painful for EGIdrA. He needs to get some defenses. For now he only has queens, 3 queens currently trying to fend off this assault. Notice that the Void Rays and the Phoenixes are a lot more mobile than the queens, obviously, and the queens are gonna have to be going up and down really quickly trying to fend off this assault. Incoming queens, 3 of them shooting, focusing fire on that Void Ray. One of the queens getting picked up, got a nice transfusion to resist a bit longer, but apparently is gonna get killed. There goes second queen getting picked up, and there's a Void Ray almost finished, killed one Void Ray, but there's still plenty of Phoenixes and one Void Ray with a full charge beam, destroying every queen that comes out. And EGIdrA is losing a lot of resources here and getting a big upset on his plans for this game, because all of his queens are getting killed, getting a Spore Crawler now on the back of his natural expo. I don't think he's gonna get finished with this Void Ray with the full beam. He's gonna try to destroy it before it gets completed. EGIdrA cancelled it, attempts to make a second one there while the Phoenixes finish off more overlords, and still EGIdrA is not supply blocked. There's another queen coming out trying to fend off this assault, and once again instantly getting picked up and destroyed. Ace is just right on top of the ball, controlling everything that's going on with his air units and finishing off as many as possible of this overlords trying to supply block his opponent. This is like what, the 5th or 6th queen that EGIdrA puts out, and is gonna get killed so quickly without doing anything whatsoever. And now, oh, this is gonna be a feast for these Phoenixes. So many overlords, with finally EGIdrA being able to put out the first Hydralisks. There's the Hydralisk then and the Evo Chamber that allowed him to place the Spore Crawlers. But this Phoenix group here has been flying over the bases for so long now, shooting down everything that moves, and actually allowing Ace to supply block EGIdrA for a little while, as you can see, by killing so many overlords. Now, apparently EGIdrA is finally being able to muster up a small army, getting some Hydralisks out, and meanwhile leaving a small force in front of the base from STARTALE Ace, but it's just a couple of Zerglings, and with that sturdy wall that he was able to assemble there, it won't be easy for those Zerglings to actually knock on the door and come in. As you can see, it's well defended, so it's gonna be complicated. And meanwhile, Ace on his natural expo got a robotics facility and the bay, so he's already getting the first Colossi out and extended thermal lance, so he's gonna start preparing his ground force because he doesn't have much of a ground army. It's basically a lot of air units harassing all over the place. And let's take a look at the army count. 68 against 78, but EGIdrA has a much smaller army, I would say. 10 Zerglings, 6 Hydralisks, against 6 Phoenixes, 4 Sentries, and 2 Zealots. So apparently for now, I think that Ace is still dominating. I mean, with this big Phoenix wing harassing all over the place, this can't be easy for EGIdrA. And EGIdrA is just trying to buy time, get some units, some Hydralisks probably. But when he sees this force advancing into his base, this is gonna be complicated for him to defend. Let me look at his defense. He doesn't have anything here. Getting another Spore Crawler on his main base, trying to fend off the assault and the aggression from all of those Phoenixes. But the forces, the ground forces from Ace are getting ready to advance. There's a small group of Hydralisks here. He's trying to produce more. Let's see, 7 more Hydralisks coming out. So with a bit of luck, he's going to have enough Hydralisks to at least try to DPS this ground force. The problem is that the Hydralisks are really weak, only 80 HP, and that Colossi will melt through the Hydralisks, backed up by so many Stalkers and the Phoenixes being able to lift some of them. I think that EGIdrA must be in trouble. Incoming all the Zerglings and Hydralisks, but EGIdrA just EGG's out of the match. He didn't have what it take. I guess he just looked at his force that was entering his main base and said, no chance. My Hydralisks have some nice DPS, but they can't resist the shots from this amount of units. And well, I guess it's true, I guess he's right. So game over, and EGIdrA lost 2-0 this series. STARTALE Ace demonstrating to us the power of the Air Force from the Protoss and just taking good advantage of it. So I guess that EGIdRA's plans didn't work, even with Ace doing the exact same build he did before on the previous match, or at least the same exact opening. He wasn't able to defend this assault and just got a big offensive in the late game with a lot of gateways pumping all these ground units to back up his Phoenix wing to finish off EGIdRA. So, well, series lost for EGIdRA. I wish him the best of luck for the next series. Let's take care of this one. I'm going to take care of uploading this one to YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later.